Good morning, evening, or whatever time it is where you are right now, and welcome to this quick introduction video to my new document chat plugin for Adobe XD. My name is Pablo Klaschka, I'm the plugins developer, and without any further ado, let's dive right into it. First of all, we need to, of course, install the plugin. To do that, either download the .xdx file from the plugin's website, linked in the description below, or open the plugin manager inside Adobe XD, so that's under the plugins menu and discover plugins, and simply search for the document chat, and next thing you know, you will find it. You can click install and you have it installed. After you've then installed the plugin, you will find the plugin document chat in the plugins panel, which can be opened with this icon in the lower left hand corner of Adobe XD. When we then go ahead and open the document chat plugin, we will first be led through a quick onboarding where we'll be able to set some preferences. And it's really not that long. So first of all, you can provide a name. This is completely optional. You can also chat as anonymous or provide any fantasy name of your choosing. But of course, it is easier for your coworkers if they know who they're chatting with. So for me personally, I always just enter my first name, and that usually is all right. Next, equally optional, you could provide an email address which is registered with the Gravatar profile picture service, so that your coworkers can see a profile picture of yours. This, of course, means that this email address gets saved. So if you, for privacy concerns, don't want that to happen, you can just leave this blank. For me personally, I'll now enter my personal email address for XD plugins, under which you can also reach me if you need any support for the plugin, by the way. Next, we can choose whether or not we want to enable using these Gravatar avatars. If we choose to use them, some network requests get sent to this external service, Gravatar, to download these profile pictures. This is maybe a privacy concern for you, so you can just leave this unchecked and no data will ever leave this system itself, so no network requests get taken at all. But if you choose to opt in, you can simply do so and see nice profile pictures of your coworkers. I'll opt out for now and later show how it looks when I'm opted in. Next, I click continue. Of course, as this is a chat plugin, and while it is privacy first, to be GDPR compliant, we need to have a privacy policy. When you click that link at the bottom of the page, you will find a detailed description of what gets saved when by the plugin of data, but basically everything is opt-in, so this plugin really is privacy focused, so that was one of my topmost priorities for the plugin. But of course, we still have to accept this privacy policy. When we now click continue, we can see that a chat window has opened, and already at the bottom we can just type some some chat messages. For example, I'll just type hello world, press enter to send, and now you can see that my message has appeared. What you can also see here is that a placeholder profile picture has appeared with my initial in it. If we now go to the settings page by clicking this icon on the top right hand corner of the plugin, we can activate the Gravatar avatars and see that in this case a quote-unquote real profile picture gets loaded. As I've said, this is just weighing up privacy with user experience, you could say maybe, so that's just up to your personal preference. Now, all the chat messages get formatted with a limited set of markdown. So for example, I could write some bold text, I could add some emojis and anything else that might be possible with markdown. one exception to that is that you can't use images or any other thing that could load external resources when inserted. So if I now send this message, you can see that the text is bold, and yeah, we have a nice smiley in our message. One more interesting feature of the plugin, which makes use of the fact that it's directly integrated into Adobe XD, is that if I now were somewhere else in the viewport and I clicked this first icon, go to viewport position, I would jump back to where this message was sent from. So, for example, if a coworker said, could you take a look at this? You don't need to specify what this is, because just by clicking this icon, you can jump to the exact same viewport position the person asking the question was in. So yeah, that's one of the benefits that this direct integration provides. You could, of course, also delete a message. You'll get asked if you really want to delete this message. Yes, in this case I do. And yes, you can also edit this message depending on the version you're using. The initial release version won't have this feature, but soon afterwards I'll release this feature as well, in which case you can just go in and make some edits to the message. Alright, that's basically the quick overview of this plugin. And yes, I hope that you enjoy using the plugin. Please note that it's right now in a beta stage, so there are some rough edges here and there, but nothing too severe. There's one issue with trackpads on Windows, for example. So on Windows laptops, you may have some issues with scrolling. This bug, however, is filed with Adobe XD already, and hopefully gets fixed soon, so that I can fix that feature in my plugin as well. And yes, I hope you'll enjoy using the plugin. I thank you very much for watching. Again, my name is Pavel Lashka. If you have any questions, issues, or feature requests, please just let me know, and we'll take a look at how we can make something work, or if we can. Sometimes it's not possible, but at least then we can give it a try. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.